Hi everyone, Matt Unruh with Phil Stephenson, head baseball coach for Dodge City Community College. And what a weekend we had last weekend, this being recorded on the 28th of April. And coming off a pretty good weekend, taking 3 out of 4 against Pratt and ending the regular season winningest program in DC3 history with 35 wins. What do you think about that, Coach?
Well, it's a tribute to our guys. I think I've talked about in the past, in the fall, we weren't very good. And I think guys took it upon themselves, especially our sophomores, to work to improve all their weaknesses. And we brought in some guys to the break, and some of those guys have really helped out. And our group has just played well and been real resilient. Haven't had a situation to where we've lost a doubleheader or been swept in a series or even lost a series. Yeah. We've either split or won 3 of 4, and you do those things, good things happen to you, and this group has really worked hard to achieve the goals that we put in front of them. And obviously one of them's winning the league title, and we were game short, falling behind Seward there, but we finished second, which is still the highest finish I think in a long time for around here. And then, breaking the record for number of wins in a season. And that's with 4 games that we didn't get to play. We were 4 games short of our 56 game total we can play. So, there's a possibility if we could have played those games, we might have won another 2, 3, or 4 games. Who knows? But all that's behind us now. As we start the playoffs, and basically you lose 2 games on a weekend, you're done. And Labette comes here on Saturday and maybe Sunday, we'll see. But, we can talk about all the good and the bad and the ugly or whatever we want to do. But the bottom line is it's all behind us now. We got to look forward and be prepared to come out on Saturday, guns a-blazing, both on the mound, defensively, and at the plate.
Well, Coach, before we get into talking about the regional that Dodge gets to host this year, let's talk a little bit about this past weekend against Pratt. Take us through taking 3 out of 4 against the Beavers.
Well, once again, 3 of the 4 games we pitched great. We got complete games from Luke Crabb, an 11-1 victory on day 1, or game 1, that we ruled them. And then Russ Mithlow was good for 7 innings on Sunday in the cold and the rain and the wetness all over the field. And we win that game 9-3, and then we really just dominated them in game 4. Andrew Riddell threw a 3-hitter, gave up 1 run in 7 innings, and we hit the heck out of the ball. We had 22 hits on the second game, and when you pitch that well and play defense and swing the bats like we did in those 3 games, was pretty good. Now game 2 on Saturday was a different story. Lane Downing did not have his best stuff, and he battled for 5 innings, but just never could get a break, and we didn't help him. We were not very good the first 5 innings swinging the bat, and got ourselves in a hole and never could really dig our way out of it. And we made some mistakes defensively, and our bullpen didn't rise to the occasion like we hoped they would. We hoped those guys would come in and be able to, at least slow them down to the point to where we could get back in the game. And unfortunately, every time we scored, we gave up another run or 2. And twice we cut it to 3 runs and had the bases loaded to be able to have a chance to tie or take the lead. And we were unable to get that big hit when we needed it. And then we'd go back out and give up another run or 2, and ended up with a 10-6 loss. And, you could say, okay, if you win that game, you end up tied for the league championship. Well, there's a lot of games along the way within the league that you could have won or lost that would have made a difference in the league championship. But the bottom line is that we knew we needed to win probably 4 games to have a chance, and we just fell 1 short. And hats off to Seward. They played really well in the second half of the league season, and I think they were 15-5 down the stretch in the league after starting 6-6, and that was enough to win the league title.
Coach, just watching you guys this past weekend, your starting pitching has so much depth. When your number 3 pitcher throws 11 strikeouts in a 7-inning game, and like you said, a 3-hitter from Riddell in your number 4 spot, so much depth. How's that going to bid well for you in playoffs?
Well, I don't think we look at it as 1 through 4 type deal. We tried to figure out early on. We felt Luke Crabb was going to be our guy we wanted on the mound in a 7-inning game, and the idea was we thought Russ is another guy. He's always been really consistent for us in the 2 years he's been here, giving us a solid 5, 6, even 7 innings. Then you got to look at the 9-inning games that you have each day, and who do you think are the guys that have the chance to go the longest? And so we kind of set it up early. We had Anthony Bowmaker in that 2 spot. That didn't work out real well. He had some struggles, and Lane Downing came in relief one day, threw 5 innings, 6 innings, gave up 1 hit against Seward. And so we decided to put him in that number 2 spot, and it's worked out really well for him. And he's been a guy that he pitches to contact. He doesn't strike out a lot of guys, so he keeps his pitch count down. And he's able to extend games for us. And he's gone, a couple times he's gone 7, 8 innings. He's had a complete game against Hutch, a 9-inning game. And so you try to match it up that way. It's not really, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's more of how you see the games and what fits the guy's style and abilities and depth of what you can do with your pitchers, of how you want to set that up. And, in the past, we've pitched backwards. We've gone with our 3-4 guy on Saturday and our 1-2 guy on Sundays, trying to change some things up a little bit. But this year we kind of got into a groove, and we stuck with that rotation. It really worked out pretty well for us. And this weekend, we're still sitting down and talking about it as to, you got 4 really good guys you could put on the mound in only 3 games. And so we're gonna sit down, and evaluate, and figure out they're all 9-inning games. We got to figure out what, besides Luke starting game 1, how we're going to approach it, and whether we're going to keep the rotation the same, and move Riddell to the bullpen, or we're going to look at Russ in the bullpen, or we're going to look at Downing in the bullpen. And one of those 3 guys will go there. Probably the guy that we feel that could throw back-to-back games on Saturday, or throw Saturday and Sunday, will be the guy that we'll probably put there.
Well, Coach, we've got Labette this weekend. We know the times for Saturday, Sunday as well. Saturday, 2:05, 5:05, and on Sunday, if necessary, hopefully just take care of business on Saturday.
Let's hope so.
1:05. Hopefully everyone can make it out. Looking like it's going to be a very nice weather weekend as well. Just nice to be able to host first round.
Yeah, it is. And, that's one of the things you play for within the league. Besides wanting to win the league title, you try to play to get to the top 4 so you can host first round playoff games. And, it's we did it 2 years ago with Neosho. Won game 1. I thought completely outplayed them in game 2, but we just couldn't get the big hit we needed. We made 1 huge defensive mistake. Actually 2 in the same inning that cost us 3 of the 4 runs that they scored, and we lost the game 4-2. And came out the next day, and their guy outpitched our guy, and then they went on to win the tournament as a 6th seed out of the East and go to the national tournament. So, anybody is capable, and I've said this within our own league. Anybody's capable on a weekend of coming in and playing lights out and being able to put together, 3 or 4 games and beat you. We've played well enough that we haven't had that happen, and I expect our guys will be prepared. What I explained to them is it's no different than any other weekend that we go play. It's just a matter of being prepared, playing our game, not trying to adapt something to try to go after somebody's real weaknesses or anything, because it may take away from your strengths. So as much research or whatever we'll dig up on Labette, the bottom line is we're just going to go out and play our game. And if we play our game, we feel that's good enough to be able to win. And, we're not going to be able to play as poorly as we played in game 2 on Saturday and expect good things to happen. That won't be the case. That's, they're capable of playing well and, coming in here and doing some things. Now, granted, they're going to be on the road, and it's a 5-hour trip over here and spending the night in a hotel and different things. So, they've got a big task ahead of them. But like I said, I like the way we've played. I like the way we've pitched. I like the way we play defense. and we do all those things the way we're capable of, I think it'll be a good weekend for us.
And we'll have the call on 1550 AM, the Sports Hound, for all 2 or 3 games as well. Conksports.com if you're out of the listening area. Also, live stream video at ihigh.com/DC3. The link to the live stream is also available on our athletics page, goconks.com. And Coach, I know it's early in the week, but Labette Community College 15-21 in conference this year, 21-23, so a couple games below 500. What do you know about Labette?
They're very comparable to us in what they've done with number of games compared to number of errors, that sort of thing. Pitching's probably been the one thing that seems to be their shortcoming. They have one guy that I expect to be the starter in game 1 on Saturday that has an ERA below 5, and he's like a 4.8 or 4.6 or something like that. All their other guys are above a 5, and their team ERA is around a 7. So, you know, they have struggled a little bit on the mound with, you know, being able to stop people, but is that contributed to ability on the mound or how good the East is offensively? That's what you don't know.
The East is good.
Yeah, that's one of those things I guess we'll find out when they get over here. You know, the East has got 3 very dominant teams in Cali County and Johnson and Neosho. All the others finished below 500 in the league. And so you don't know if that domination means there's parity, you know, in the second grouping, or if those guys are just that much better than everybody else, and maybe better than everybody else in our division. Who knows at this point? But basically, like I said, you know, you can crunch all the numbers you want and do everything. Bottom line is you still got to come out and play and execute. And those are things that we've been pretty good at this year, and I don't see why it'll be any different come game time at 2:05 on Saturday.
I know we'll hash it out on the field, but one thing to note here in the standings, Coach, is last 10 games, they're 3 out of 7, but they've won 3 straight. So you never know who they played this last week, too. But
well, I think they played Coffeyville, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? Coffeyville, 4th place.
Who finished 4th. So, you know, I mean, anything's a possibility. And I try to do, you know, we try to do research on every opponent we have on the weekend in league play. You know, and some of them here in the West, obviously we know more about because we played them in the fall or we've seen them the year before, some of the guys. You kind of have an idea what you want to do with them. But, you know, the teams from the East, you know, you got to try to dig up a little more information. You got to call around to people they've played, see if anybody will give you a little tidbit or two about them and what have you. And you know, it's like one of those things, okay, the one thing I look at is that they have 2 left-handed hitters on their roster and they have 2 left-handed pitchers. So they're right-handed dominant. Well, that kind of plays into us a little bit. We're right-handed dominant on the mound, and our top hitters are left-handed. So you look at that and go, okay, that kind of plays into our favor a little bit. And, you know, we have the home field advantage. We're used to playing on turf. We know how the wind blows. We know how to play the field itself. You know, those are all little things that are advantageous here and there to what you're trying to do. But the bottom line is you got to come out and play. And like I said, I like where we are. You know, we're healthy. We don't have anybody that's going to miss any time because of injury. Pitchers all seem to be in good shape. They'll be well rested. And, you know, if you want to be a numbers guy and look at numbers, our numbers are a lot better. But you still got to do it on the field.
Yep.
But I think we are a better team, and hopefully we'll come out and prove that on Saturday.
Yeah, and come out and watch if you're available on Saturday afternoon, 2:05 for Game 1, 5:05 for Game 2, potentially a series clincher in Game 2, and if necessary, Game 3 on Sunday at 1:05. Again, 1550 AM, the Sports Hound, and conksports.com for audio, ihigh.com/DC, the number 3 for video live streaming. Phil, anything else you want to add?
Well, I want to let people know that we are not charging admission.
All right.
A lot of times for playoffs, in years past, or at least when we go on the road, and we did 2 years ago here, that we charged admission to people to get in. There's no admission charge. We want people to come out and enjoy the day. or both days if necessary. It's supposed to be 85 degrees. Bring an umbrella, bring a lawn chair if you want, sit out. Light winds, so not too bad there. Concession stand will be open. There'll be plenty of cold drinks, and I think we're even going to muster up a few hot dogs to have to sell as well, so people can have a full ballpark experience and and see some good baseball. I think our kids have really worked hard and played well to get to this point and have this opportunity, and hopefully people who are baseball fans here in the city of Dodge and the surrounding area who get a chance to see this interview will take some time and come out and support the guys and enjoy some family time, maybe out at the ballpark, because everybody's busy and everybody's running, but sometimes it's not a bad way to spend an afternoon, is to sit with your family at the ballpark and enjoy some good baseball and maybe a cold drink or two while you're there.
Again, a record-setting team, program record for wins, 35 wins this year, and this team has got their eyes set on Wichita and more. Last question, Coach, when was the last time that the Conchs made it to Wichita?
My second year here,
really?
2007. Yeah, we went on the road and beat KCK and went to Wichita, and we lost the first game, won the second one, lost the third one, so we were there for 3 days. And that was a team that was a lot of freshmen, a lot of guys that in some cases probably didn't know any better, but we had some talent, and we played well at the right time. We weren't a great team by any stretch of the imagination, but we played well at the right time, and we played well in Wichita, I thought we represented ourselves really well, and since then we've never been able to get over the hump or get into the right spot to get there, and this is the best opportunity we've had since that year of going at 2007 to have the opportunity to get back there, and hopefully our guys will rise to the challenge. I think they will.
Got to take care of Labette first. Is doubleheader Saturday at 2:05, 5:05, and Sunday possibly at 1:05. For Phil Stephenson, the head baseball coach for DC3, I'm Matt Unruh. Thanks for watching.